I recently came across an old Minecraft project that was left with a dark secret. Last console archival project. A corrupted server, missing players, and a mystery that's never been solved until now. This is the full story of the Minecraft server where players vanished. Our story begins here with the first ever upload titled Hello World. We can see our player walk the roads through a city, as the description notes, coming back to an old server world save after 7 years away from it all. They enter the building with a book logo, which is the same as their profile picture, and inside is, as guessed by now, a library. Near the end of the video, they suddenly stop and a text appears in the top left corner saying, Hello World. The followed up video isn't anything extraordinary, it's just a tour of a popular old group's base that were called Necros. But upon going up to the 3rd floor, this unusual black bar appears on screen and yet again gives us a message writing, Welcome home. That black box or censored bar though, what is it? Maybe its purpose is to hide specific things from the past that we shouldn't see? One thing I'll say, from this point on, it will start appearing in almost every single recording, making it a bigger threat each time. The old house upload has a pretty interesting description that the creator noted. There wasn't a trapdoor here before, implying someone else might have already been to this abandoned place. Near the end of the video, it leads to this area and the video ends with glitching and something being hid away from our sight yet again. So far, these videos don't seem to have anything horrifying going on with them. Well, what if I told you that is about to change starting from the upload June 1st, 2023. The one recording is walking down a tunnel that was used for mining. Let's pause for a second though. How am I so sure? Well, when pausing in this exact time, we see two informative signs. Mining Area 3 and a date, established March 28, 2021. After walking down a bit more, we can read that the first ever mining area was built on March 25th. Around 50 seconds in, we arrive to this storage room where these banners can be seen, representing a group like the Necros for example. But in case you're wondering, no, the banners do not match. Soon we get to find out about the second mine that's being established the same day as the third one, March 28th. And not even a second later, we hear this. A dial phone going off. And before we know it, our player is being taken somewhere, as well something getting censored. We are shown several different places and this is what the ending is. Okay, this may seem like a lot to take in, so let's cover everything by first going back to the first 3 uploads before this one. There's one main thing that all of them have in common: the dial phone sound. At one part in every recording, it can be heard, always grabbing the attention of our protagonist. It seems as this anonymous is trying to contact our player for something, but neither do we or the player recording know if he's trying to help or is just a bad cause. So let's move forward. We are shown 3 whole different screenshots. The first one's a base going inside the mountain, this tall one with carpet design very similar to the library, and last but not least, this hallway. A theory of mine I came across judging by the sound in this last clip was that something is banging through this big door like it's trying to escape. This all ringing sound and screenshots thingy might have seemed important, but the truth is, none of it was as much as a single text that leads to a private video labeled, Why are you here? The unlisted video shows screenshots put together as an animation, the scenario being us walking down to the sewer area with blood marks on the floor, and the corruption ending it all with text saying, Do you remember me? And as well, you should. Remember what exactly? So far we've learned that this is about an old server, more specifically town or city, that has been left behind with many greatness built into it. This thing, is it trying to make our protagonist remember something from the past? What if this thing is a player that just like us decided to revisit this place to remember everything that has happened? The one trapdoor that wasn't there before, maybe they were the one that built it. Perhaps this player trying to get in touch with us is an old friend that they left behind in history. Summer 01. Exploring one of Summer Elliott's old warehouses. 2 total times the phone rang this time, this pretty unsettling part with a symbol on the back of the warehouse we never saw before, and another unlisted YouTube video link. The title was encrypted into base 64 coding, and the decryption gives us, "Why did you return?" First of all, there are many messages that appear on screen such as, "Where have you been? Why did you come back?" And lastly, "Did you think I would forget?" The footage itself shows us returning to the sewers and the same door we looked at right before a knocking is heard and the video cuts off. Remember what I said about the fact that this could be a player from the past coming to contact us? The messages being given to us makes me feel like we're the villain in the story. All these questions, most specifically the one saying, "Did you think I would forget?" gives me a reason to say we did something cruel to this person back in the days, perhaps betrayed them. The next public upload is Summer 2. The first thing I noticed was this warehouse isn't the same as the first one. Upon entering Lucas's room, the lighting changes to the cyan color again. Still not sure what it might mean, but after a few seconds we can take a look at this image. Upon first glance, I had no idea what I was looking at, and still don't. So the only guess in my head right now is an armor stand with iron armor being the main picture. We may not have an idea what this screenshot is right now, but just so you know, the next and even future videos will help us even reveal to us what this screenshot is trying to tell us, so stay till the end. But anyways, our protagonist then shows us the room of Ellie, except why doesn't the lighting change now? I'm so thrown off about it, but that doesn't matter right now because we hear the dial phone going off again, meaning our player is in danger. Interlude. The last episode of series number 1. Description notes, back to where it all began. This upload is more of a sad memorial one. It explains how this world or server wasn't like any other. It brought peace to people, made them feel safe, quoting, "This world was your home." And it ends with someone questioning us why we abandoned this world in the first place. I wanna point out 2 things. One, the same statue we saw earlier appearing again after the words "built a top secret," and also this symbol with an eye inside of a rotated square, giving out a ray of some sort. And that is how series 1 out of many ends. I say we first shortly go over everything we covered before moving on to the second series. The player recording everything is revisiting his old abandoned server or quote-unquote home. Things start out pretty normal, except that progressively changes the more we watch, getting the feeling that we aren't the only ones exploring this town. Blocks that were never there in the first place, and noises such as the ringing and uncanny static. The person our protagonist left behind might be the one trying to get in contact with us. But before we continue, if you've been enjoying the video so far, consider subscribing. It really helps me get closer to my goal of reaching 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and each sub gives me that extra push to upload more often and make each video an improvement compared to the last. But anyways, it's now time to step into series number 2. The video we're starting off with in series 2 is titled June 21st, 2023. A change I instantly spotted was that the one recording is in survival mode, unlike in the first series. The previous 7 videos had the same player recording, but that has been changed. And then, after 40 seconds, we get to see this. It's the same hallway we saw before. Yeah, sure, the protagonist went mining, but why is he here? Is this the person who was trying to talk with us from the previous series? No. It rings again and again. They check around the place to make sure it's secure. See how our player looks so confused? Let me read you the description they wrote. There was no door above the old spawner. The same anomaly our first protagonist also encountered just before it led to the video getting corrupted. That is exactly what happens here as well. A small room, this nice view, a hallway, and two of the same pictures we've seen before. What do those screenshots have in common though? Well, to get some answers, let's head forward to the video named Sending a Message. Tell me, what do you see? The description translates. We are shown this house made out of mossy stone bricks, representing the fact that it has been left to rot away. Everything in this world consumed by darkness. Maybe it was better that way. All of it forgotten forever. We enter a house, then proceed to enter the basement. I just want to be remembered. I just want to be here again. Let me out. Something is happening in this world. Something so terrorizing that it vanished off of the internet before it was re-archived. The number one thing I want to point out is the symbol appearing on this forgotten player's face. From that alone, questions arose such as, had the symbol thing taken over this person's body? Questions like these can make you overthink, so I say we keep moving on for higher hopes of finding answers. The next footage was recorded on June 22nd, the day after the previous upload. Constant bangings can be heard. Our player is running without taking a look back, except they are being chased, right before they fall into the abyss. We see the same room again before the video cuts. Our player's hearts, hunger bars and items have vanished. They decide to keep exploring until it appears again and ends the video. The two things I left out for the end were first, the description. I haven't been able to get in contact with Marcus as of late, and I'm beginning to wonder if what he said about the old server was right. Who is Marcus though? And did he warn our player about exploring this abandoned place? Let me show you a short video real quick. What you just saw is the second key point I listed, an unlisted upload. First of all, the diamond eye. We now know what the symbol Mark's name is, and that symbol is a player as we saw before. He was the one who used this place. The "I tried to warn them" message might confirm that this is Marcus, telling us how he warned others not to visit that old server, but none of them listened. The last line in the description translates to, "You just found the door," meaning it is talking about the final screenshot in the video, as we before assumed it was a door, hiding something, giving out those loud banging noises, and we were correct. Overall, this private video gave us many more clues to figuring out the whole truth to this left server, but this next video revealed something to me I never thought it would. The recording shows us the storage room with blood and heads on the floor. They open this door where inside we can see the blood trail continue, showing someone was escaping that way. And the end of the video is this. After escaping the sewers, we are met with this flat surface, but all of a sudden our player looks at the moon and a text appears saying, "Did you think it would be that easy?" To me, this seems pretty clear. Our player tried to escape this nightmare, except unfortunately, it's almost like their body got taken over by the one trying to keep the players away from the real world. The prime suspect I have in mind that may be behind all of this is the Diamond Eye. He was the one stuck in the sewerage and perhaps even looking for revenge. Speaking of Diamond Eye, take a look at this next upload. Look at the player's hand. For the first time ever, we are viewing the perspective of the so-called Diamond Eye. The recording's just basically them walking to a location while opening several vaults, and the ending shows us Diamond Eye breaking a glass that had something inside. Except that's not all. The most important aspect to learn is the title, Achilles, which when searched for its meaning gives us pain or grief to the people. It's confirmed. Diamond Eye may be lost, hopeless, but he makes sure to give that out to others as well. He traps players to make them feel miserable, giving out pain and grief. Another secret I want to point out is this last image. At first glance, you just see a chair and a background, but there's much more to it. When I decided to screenshot the image and search for it with Google Lens, this is where it took me. A game, but not any game. It has the name The Eyes Are Watching. The Diamond Eye's symbol has an eye. That's how he knows where people are at every given second. That is how he makes sure no one gets out alive. This next video wasn't played in Minecraft or anywhere else. Teaser is what it's called. At exactly 17 seconds we get to hear this.
After all, why else did you warn us?
After all, what else did you warn them, Marcus? Remember how a recent description once mentioned the name Marcus and the fact that he tried to warn these players? It seems as Diamond Eye found out. None of the people listened to Marcus, and now this is where it all led to. Dead Man, No Tales. The biggest and most important upload by far. This is the last footage recorded by Marcus before going missing over a month ago. Wait, so this whole time we've been watching Marcus? The player that warned every player to never visit this world ever again? Besides this, we are about to get many more information we've been hoping for this whole time. February 23rd, 2018. Something weird's been going on. The new HQ Vic build is just gone. The server log shows no one's been on since last night and no commands were run. Marcus suggested a backup was loaded. February 25th. Great. First Vic's new HQ and now half the old spawn is just a hole in the void. And said she's been hearing weird noises when she was working on it alone last night. She said it sounded like a phone ringing. This is huge news. The whole time we assumed it was a phone. We were right. And not only that, but did you see how her name was covered with a black bar? That was her in all the past videos when the censored bar appeared. Marcus then stumbles upon a chest, opens it, and this is what's inside. The only thing it reminds me of is that door the Diamond Eye opened with the sea lantern in the middle. March 1st, 2018. Vic hasn't been back on since everything went down. Marcus is still trying to find a rational explanation. No one can go near the old spawn without crashing, and loading backups does not work. March 5th. I don't know what's going on anymore. Marcus has been acting weird. I'm closing down the server until I can figure out what happened. The downfall of this server with infinite memories is just sad. Marcus finds this cozy base, but inside the chest is a structure void. August 22nd, 2020, more than 2 years later. I went to check an old backup of the world from the old server. I didn't see any corrupted chunks, but something still felt off. August 24th. I think I heard what was talking about. I could have sworn I heard a ringing phone in the distance. Why are their names here? Something followed me into the old warehouse. I keep getting the feeling like it knows me. It followed me into another world. I can't leave. It's so cold. I found a cave to hide out in for now, but I know it's still out there. Page number 10. The Diamond Eye knows my name. The pieces of the puzzle are slowly being put together, but we'll talk about the book notes later, cause does this staircase seem familiar? It's the same one Diamond Eye had visited. Marcus heads into the same vault, finds the same item which is a player head, and we get to hear the following message.
What were you expecting to find? After everything, you think they're still here? That she is still here? No, I am all that's left. The best you swore to forget. I really should thank you. Victor would not be as easy to break. But now, you won't need to worry about that anymore. It's been no deal.
Videos that give out as much explanation about the whole mystery as this one, I feel like we gotta use that chance and learn the maximum starting from the pages in the book. It seems as this whole corruption to the server started back in February 23rd of 2018 when a building just straight up vanished with no trace. Remember how Diamond Eye mentioned the name Victor, which was noted as Vic in the book? Victor was the one we were viewing in Series 1. He was one of the first few victims, and he suddenly disappeared after everything started breaking down. Also, along reading the book, we're still yet to discover who that black censored bar person is, but we have the fact that it's a female, by noting she heard weird noises. A few days later, the rigging started to happen. But what is its purpose? The question we've been asking this whole time. I looked back at several times the rigging happened, and every aftermath had one thing in common. The censored female player's appearance. No, we can assume she's not a threat, but it's some sort of signal, specifically from Diamond Eye. The anonymous female is just a victim. She wants to understand what's happening just like us. Now, the reason the protagonist always ran away from her was possibly because of her presence. She gives us the sign that Diamond Eye is nearby. March 5th, 2018 was marked the day the server shut down as an investigation to figure out what happened. Then, in the year 2020 on August 24th, the one documenting all this witnessed the phone ringing. Diamond Eye followed them into the warehouse and even any world he played in. It's so cold. I found a cave to hide out in for now. This sentence confirms how Marcus went into the same hideout where he found this item, a structure void. It's impossible to obtain in survival mode, meaning Diamond Eye was in that same place our player was hiding in beforehand and put that item in as a sign. As the story progresses, Marcus heads down into a bunker where we saw that head appear, and that head was Victor's, based on how there's the purple color that matches with his sleeves. Marcus sees it, knows it's his old friend, and he unfortunately goes missing the same way. Besides all of this, the last ever upload on the second series is titled "And So," where in the end the video glitches with Diamond Eye on the screen and the second series ends just like that. The first episode of Series 3 introduces us to a new player once again, who is aware of the situation. As they noted, "I'm going to find Marcus. I'm going to figure out how to stop this." The title is a date, specifically August 12th, 2023. They walk through a cave, enter a portal, and head into this library where they find some notes left by the previous victims, such as, "Hey Vic, I figure something probably happened to me. I kind of knew something would happen eventually, ever since I started seeing that thing. Called it the Diamond Eye. Ever since I saw it, I've been forgetting things, people's voices, their names. Places keep disappearing or being in areas they're not supposed to. And knows about it too, but I haven't heard from her in a while. If something happens to me, don't put yourself in danger to try and help. Please stay safe. Marcus." Then the rigging starts going off again. They run out, show us what the place looks like, and the video cuts off. Okay, now it may seem like we already covered everything, but trust me, there's more. In the very first 2 seconds, we can see that this underground place is right above the void, as we got told about the corruption. What also stuck out to me was how the lighting changed to the same type of red color like in the upload name Achilles when we were viewing Diamond Eyes' POV. This recording showed quite a lot, but maybe not as much as this next one. We start off in an empty office, able to kind of read this sign next to the black bar. A photo of something, any blank and free. Then the video cuts to this message. Wrath, he died a long time ago. While a constantly repeating audio is being played in the background that might be saying, "Quit saving her." Distorted video footage, images and text appearing. Why are you looking for her? You think she can save you? She's the reason this will never end. She's fighting her own demons here. What makes you think she can help? And the jump scare ends the video. Right now, to me it seems as Diamond Eye is trying as much as possible to keep us away from interacting with her, by for example giving us zero confidence. But as great as they are, our protagonist doesn't give up and uploads another recording. But wait, first of all, how come they have different looking hand now than before? It's either someone else recording this or there were changes made to their skin. Whoever this is, we can tell they are in the exact same office hallway from the previous upload while having some unknown items in their hotbar. They get caught and then... Wait, it's Victor's perspective again. He's alive? Remember when Diamond Eye broke the glass protecting his head? What if that's how he respawned? His soul was trapped in there, but for some reason Diamond Eye decided to let him free. Wait, no, but that doesn't make sense. This was dated as the year 2020, but the first few recordings Victor uploaded in Series 1 were in 2023. Could it be we are currently viewing when all of the corruption started happening? Yes. August 22nd. I went to check an old backup of the world from the old server. I didn't see any corrupted chunks, but something still felt off. Look at this place, where Victor is standing right now. It's the exact replica as the screenshot. But as Vic stated before, it followed him to other worlds as well, and the video ends off with our player urgently heading somewhere, possibly commanded by the Diamond Eye. This story, this mystery, everything is at its peak right now, but it's about to get much more informative, starting from the next upload with no given title. Oh my god, it was her. This entire time. The anonymous female player that kept her identity hidden throughout every episode. She caused all of this. She located players by sitting at the camera room where she could see every move they make. Why though? Why do all of this? What bad things did others do to her so she could come to this decision? A peaceful server with infinite memories ruined just because of a single person who we thought was innocent this whole time. The next few uploads are all gonna be about our protagonist trying to find her, starting with the Pursuit upload, which showcases many images of this server and a message saying, "If you still want to find her, you'll have to find me," before we get to see yet another female skin and instantly move on to the next recording where now our player is desperate to find her and saying, "Challenge accepted. I have to do whatever it takes to find her." Its date is August 14th, which is 2 days after the very first upload of Series 3. This footage basically shows our protagonist looking for something. At the end of the video, they find the same sign we saw before, and the video ends there. Find Her is the last video uploaded in Series number 3. We enter the same place, then head into the sewers before Diamond Eye gives us a final message.
Don't touch that dial now, we're just getting started.
Throughout this whole time, we've been watching every video that have been uploaded to the channel. But what about shorts? There are a total of 2 shorts that were posted in the 3rd series, and they are about to reveal something crucial. The first one isn't anything special, it showcases the sewers with a blood trail once again, and messages appearing, "You're not supposed to be here." But the second short is going to reveal a clue about the female player. We are shown several different screenshots and almost every single one is familiar, like this table we saw in the previous upload and even this dark door which leads to the entrance of the sewers. And the image we get to see last is this. By searching it up on Google Lens, I found this queen chess piece with a text saying "The Red Queen Effect, understanding why a church dies." The one time I remember seeing a potential queen chess piece was in the interlude video, but what could it mean though? At the end of every single series I do a summary, but I feel like that's not necessary right now because as we head into the 4th series, our main goal will remain, that being the mission to find this female person that could tell us what truly happened and why they came to this decision. But it won't only be about her disappearance, it will also be about other people like Marcus and Victor.
Breaking news at 2:06 p.m. on July 12, 2023. Computer sciences student Marcus Redgrave was reported missing after close friends called local police for a wellness check early Wednesday morning. Friends and family that lived in the area say Marcus isolated himself for the past several weeks, obsessed with the secrets he said he couldn't tell anyone about.
The short you just saw is the first out of the 8 total videos listed in Series 4. The news announced that Marcus went missing on July 12, 2023, which is a Wednesday. He vanished at around 2 p.m, but there were people doing a wellness check on him in the morning, which begs the question, was he mentally doing well in the first place? Well, unfortunately no, not at all. You see, the news also told us how Marcus isolated himself for several weeks for secrets he couldn't tell anyone about. What Marcus saw in Minecraft, the whole story he tried to solve, and learning his friend Victor had perhaps even passed away in the meantime, it's safe to say that this problem got to him mentally. The next upload in the playlist would be this video, but we'll come back to that in a bit, because unlike the previous short, this time the news aren't talking about Marcus, but instead a female. It was mentioned that she disappeared on August 22nd of 2022, where the only sign of her disappearance was several broken electronic devices. And that's pretty much it. Moving on to the next video, August 15th, 2023. In case you don't remember, this is the same person that we saw read through Marcus's notes and explore the empty office, except the very next day, this is what they found. I don't know what this thing is or what it wants, but the room behind the door it was standing in front of is a copy of my brother's apartment. Amanda, if you see this, please don't go down there. The first thought that came to my mind after watching this was that we might be viewing Amanda's perspective after all. The note she left in the description reveals to us how this is a copy of her brother's apartment, but below the same note is a separately written text. Perhaps the brother told Amanda not to investigate the sewers or maybe even his room. 2 days after the sewerage recording, our player is seen entering an abandoned place, head up to the attic, and then... Besides the real life footage at the end, we are shown several messages our protagonist said, where the most important out of all being this one. N used to love this place. Remember when that same first letter with the black bar afterwards was in the books? Our protagonist is talking about the same person, not to mention the fact that when they left, only Marcus, Victor, and whoever this is stuck around. Judging by the fact that they are a female and have 4 or 5 letters in their names, my best guess is that she's called Nora. If this is one of the oldest builds on the server, I'm confident to say that Nora started playing on this server very early, so perhaps is it time to find her? Yes, absolutely, because when skipping to the end of the next upload, we get the message, "Find me." The short pretty much shows us entering a small house with yet again an eerie ending, but not as eerie as the video called Revelation. You cannot erase their mistakes. The past holds secrets even you don't know. I know them all. We enter this underground room. In front of us is some sort of a small chamber, and then we get this clip. A pawn taking another pawn out. The revelation's meaning, a surprising and previously unknown fact that has been disclosed to others. You may not realize it yet, but these two things alone are going to create the biggest plot twist in Series 5 we never thought of happening. The final recording uploaded in the 4th series has a song playing in the background that sounds like this. It's really deep, slowed down, and pretty hard to figure out what the lyrics are, but after just adding a pitch shifter and speeding up the audio, we can confirm that the song we were listening to is the one called Hush Hush Hush, Here Comes the Boogeyman. Pretty sure it doesn't have anything to do with the whole mystery itself, so let's move on. We can see that it's Diamond Eyes' perspective again. They follow a trail of blood, command us by saying, "Take my hand." And so, Series 4 comes to a close. This series may have felt like it wasn't as important as it should have been. Yes, we may have learned about some of the disappearances, the mission to find Nora, but honestly, all of this is just leading up to one moment. The moment where we find out how dark of a past this server has actually been hiding from us since the start. In Series 5, we start off searching deep inside the forest. The video switches to Minecraft before we enter this giant building and get this final screenshot. It seems normal at first. Well, that is until we decide to open the video's description. It can't be true. I know Vic wouldn't do anything like that, let alone Marcus. We can assure that we saw this screenshot before when it was revealed that the female person was evil after all. The pressure plates match, but there seems to be no blood marks nor canisters. What did the protagonist see in that room that made them write that description? Well, our only answer for now is the next short, because listen to this. Those who hold you closest. She thought they were her friends. Buried. Wait, what? These two messages alone just opened up a whole new case. She's dead? Victor, Marcus, one of them killed her? This has to be a misunderstanding. Surely, right? This is getting absurd. I must click on the linked video and get to the bottom of this for once and for all. This 5-minute long video may say it's just a Halloween special, and I didn't know it at the time, but I was in for something much more deeper. Let's begin, shall we? You all seem to forget about her so easily. Some simply wanted to move on, to forget forever, while others sought to bury the truth so deep it would never see the light of day again. And then there's you, the one they tried so desperately to keep the truth from. That's why I'm here, to show you the truth. They buried her here. Where should I even start? Okay, first of all, the fact that all of them were in survival mode, unlike in other videos, gives me a reason to think that when they were in creative and had no hearts or hunger bars, they were just ghosts and dead. The first and last scenes both end with the players walking to a chest, except at exactly 4 minutes and 18 seconds, we can see that the chest contains a piece of paper and another item that's impossible to guess because of the video's bad quality. Moving on to the most important part, the players themselves. Let's go in order they were shown, starting with her. She was the one we were viewing in the first series the whole time, meaning I was wrong every time I mentioned the name Victor. Also, this same person is now confirmed to be not Diamond Eye, but this sort of crow mask player. Now, she was either taken away as we saw this same view and the blood, or she was the one who took someone else. This may be shot in the dark, but I would say she's the one called Nora. Since Nora was the one who wrote a 10-page long journal and mentioned how the entity followed him into any role she played in, then this confirms that it was Nora's perspective in Series 1 and perhaps isn't even evil. The second POV shows us Marcus, who was mentioned to be the one to move on and forget forever. He enters that same big building we saw before, and that's pretty much all. After that is this player. The first question that crossed my mind was how come that they were literally in the same place where Diamond Eye was. Both of them enter the same place, and both times it cuts off exactly when they look at that big door. The Achilles recording ends with the protagonist breaking the glass like it had freed it. Besides this, we can tell that it's the same person who decided to investigate the sewers and his brother's apartment. Could it be that this is Amanda? Well, the fourth and last player we saw get revealed looks like this. They explored this underground room and the abandoned castle while telling us that ever since Nora left, only Marcus, Victor and they stuck around, which means that they aren't Victor as well. So who is Victor? Well, honestly, it doesn't matter. Why? Because all these players did something cruel to someone. They buried her. We don't know who exactly, when or even why, but this ARG mystery with deep secrets is still ongoing. What started like a normal visit back to an old server to look back at everything we'll never forget and ended with dark, traumatic secrets we wish we have never found out.